Hello dear CMA aspirants from South India. As you all already know, Akash Agarwal Classes has launched for you all 100% English lectures in English for CMA Foundation students giving their examination in December 2025 and onwards. So here I am going to tell you how do you enroll in the batch. You just have to join our WhatsApp community which is given in the link. Fill up the Google form again given in the link and do download our mobile application Akash Agarwal Classes to access the notes. You all know the lectures which we are going to conduct will be 100% covered. There would be no subject which we are not taking care of. So we are going to take care of each and every subject, each and every concept. We are going to take MCQs for you. We are going to provide test papers. We are going to take live mentee sessions as well. Lectures which we are going to take for you all are 100% recorded lectures and not dubbed lectures. And you all know we have exclusive team ready for you all to teach you for your CMA Foundation December 2025 attempt for subject wise as well. And we are uploading the lectures on a weekly basis. All the important links which will be useful to you all are uploaded in the description box. Since we have many students who have cleared CMA examination at all the levels from Akash Agarwal Classes, and to reciprocate the love which we have received from South Indian students, we are here for you all taking lectures 100% in English, so that we can clear your CMA Foundation December 25 attempt together. So keep studying, do watch all the lectures till the end, and do show some love by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and putting up a word in the comment box. Keep studying. Bye-bye.
Hello my dear students. So students, in this session or in this chapter, we are going to start a very important chapter, that is central tendency and dispersion. So this chapter, let me tell you about the chapter first. And before going into the chapter, so I would like to tell you that this is the second chapter that I am conducting for mathematics, that is statistics. And the chapter is totally going to be in English. So yes, the series that Akash Agarwal Classes has started is for all the South Indian students and all the students those who want the lectures to be conducted in English. So yes, if you are new to the channel, you should definitely subscribe to the channel if you want the lectures to be if you want lectures that are conducted in English, and you should also share the link with all your friends. Apart from that, there's a WhatsApp community that we have created for all the students. You can join that WhatsApp community. The link is given in the description. The community will be getting a lot of links, a lot of updates that we are going to post for the lectures for CMA Foundation that we are conducting in English. So yes, do join the WhatsApp group. The link is available in the description, and for sure, do share with all your friends who are in requirement of the English lectures. Okay, so let's get back to our topic. Let's get into the topic now. Central tendency and dispersion is a very important as well as a lengthy chapter. Why is it important? Because the chapter comes with a weightage of approximately 14 to 16 marks. Yes, you have heard it right. There's a weightage of this chapter is too huge. 14 to 16 marks. That means 7 to 8 questions are going to be asked from the chapter central tendency and dispersion. Let me tell you one more thing about this chapter. The chapter being lengthy is a very easy chapter because the chapter is totally formula based chapter. That means if you learn the formula, if you understand the concept, you can 400%, 500% attempt these questions and gain this 14 to 16 marks, because there's not going to be any kind of tricky questions or something like that. The questions are going to be very simpler because it is formula based. You just have to substitute the given data in the formula and give your answer. So let me tell you about central tendency and dispersion now. So first of all, we are going to start central tendency. Okay. And then later on, down the line, we'll be starting with the dispersion. Once the central tendency part is over, we'll complete the MCQ about first central tendency, and then we'll jump into the dispersion part. So, what is the central tendency? Central tendency is nothing but average. Central tendency. It is nothing but average. And you all are aware about what is average, because we have studied in our earlier classes, in our schooling, in our 11th, 12th if you are from a maths background. So what is average? Average is nothing but a number that is going to represent or is going to give information about the whole data. There are multiple numbers, there are 10 or 15 numbers. We have to present it by a number, a single number. What do? We just find out the data. You give many exams. For example, if you have might given your 10th exam, you might have given your 12th exam. Give many papers. In 10th standard, you might have given your science, that is physics, chemistry, math 1, maths 2, history, geography, that is social science, English, any other language subject. What were you doing at that case? You are giving multiple subjects. Same goes with your 11th, 12th. You give your multiple subjects. But at the end of the result, what do we see? We see how much percentage did you score. How is that percentage calculated? First of all, we add all the marks. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. We all add the marks. We add all the marks, divide by total number, and then multiply by 100. But at first point, what were we doing? We were adding all the numbers and dividing by the total number of marks. That means we were finding out the average marks, and then we used to multiply it by 100 to convert it into the percentage. So average is nothing but addition of all the numbers. For example, let me give you an example over here. If there is 5, 10, 15, 20, what were we doing at that time? We used to add 5, 10, 15 and 20. That would sum up to, and we used to divide by 4. Why 4? Because there are 4 numbers. If I add 25 over here, I add 25 and the numbers will become now 5 and I will be dividing it by 5, right? So for now, I'll be dividing it over here. So what does the total become? It becomes 50. And what is then 50 divided by 4? 50 divided by 4, well, just give me a minute. Let me get the calculator. So hopefully you all have the calculator. 5, 10, 15 plus 20 is 50 and 50 divided by 4 is going to be 12.5. So what is this 12.5? This 12.5 was your average. What is this 12.5? This 12.5 is your average, right? So now we are going to study, like I'm pretty sure all of you might be aware of average. I was just giving an example. So if somebody is confused or somebody might have forget the concept, there was a revision for you. So let's get back to the topic. And now we're going to talk about CT. So like I said, central tendency CT is what? So everybody is going to note down it with me. I hope all of the students have their notebook, the calculators and everything. If you don't have and you're watching the lecture, students, there's no use. If you're sitting down, you're watching the lectures, you should watch it and write down with me. Don't just watch the lectures to listen to the lectures. It won't help you. Okay, so let's start. The statistical measure that identifies a single value as representative of an entire distribution is called central tendency. It's called what? Central tendency. As I said, there's a number which is going to represent what? All the data. It is known as what? Average, and that is what is central tendency. So now we are going to study, there are 2 types of central tendency. First is going to be Let me note down a table for you or a graph for you. Are you supposed to write? Yes, you all are supposed to write it. The first part is going to be mathematical. Mathematical averages. And the other part is going to be positional averages. So, in mathematical averages, we are going to study three types of averages. In mathematical averages, what are we going to study? Three types of averages. The first one is AM, the other one is GM, and the third one is HM. Yes, I'm pretty sure you all might have I have already heard about AM, GM, and HM. So mathematical averages are what? AM, GM, and HM. Positional average. In positional average, let me get back over here. Partition values. Partition values. And the other one is going to be mode. But in a partition value, we are going to study four things. One is median, one is quartile, third is decile, and the other is percentile. Okay, so let me first of all clear one thing. There are three different things. Okay, mean, median, and mode. So mode is your median is another branch. Your median is what? Your median is another branch. But for now, for understanding purpose or to make it easy, because median, I'm going to add median in quartile, decile, and percentile, because the formulas for median, quartile, and decile and percentile are much similar, are 99% similar. That's the reason I am adding median in quartile, decile, and percentile. But you have to remember that median is what? Median is a different branch. It does not come into partition value, but for now we are adding it into it because it is going to make us easy to understand and to learn the formulas. Okay. So first is what? Mathematical average. Second is what? Positional average. Mathematical average consists of what? AM, GM, and HM. It consists of what? AM, GM, and HM. Apart from that, positional averages is what? Positional averages, partition value, and mode. So we are going to study everything in detail. You don't have to worry about that. We are going to study everything in detail. We are going to study what is AM, we are going to study what is GM, we are going to study what is HM, partition value, median, quartile, decile, and percentile, and mode. So as I told, this is only a part of central tendency. This is only a part of central tendency. Dispersion is going to be different. Different types of dispersion are going to be different. As I've already stated that before starting the chapter, that the chapter is very, 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 very easy, but it is what? It is lengthy. So yes, there are many formulas we are going to see. First of all, before jumping into averages or mathematical, it might be positional. We have to see there are different types of data. So we have already studied it. We have already studied in the first chapter, statistical description of data. But before jumping into that, I'll have to teach you types of series. There are types of series because there are three types of series. So in AM, we have to study three parts. In GM, we have to study three series. In HM, three series. In median, three series. In quartile, three series. In decile, in percentile, in mode. Therefore, before going into AM, GM, or HM, we have to study what are the types of series. So first series that we are going to see is raw data. Now, what is raw data? Let me give you an example, a single example. That single example is what is going to clear all the things for your raw data or your group data or your ungrouped data. Okay. Let's assume there are 50 students. Let's assume what? Let's assume there are 50 students in our class. Okay. So if there are 50 students in our class and I have conducted a test of 10 marks or 20 marks. I've conducted a test of what? I've conducted a test of 20 marks. So raw data is going to give me what? Raw data is going to give me a data which is going to be very, very raw. It is going to give me 50 students marks. Like first student has got 10 marks, another student has got 12 marks, another student has got 15, the fourth student has got 7, 8, 2, 5, 7, 15, 19, somebody might have got 20, somebody might have got 18, 19, 15, 16, or 6, or 2, or 1, somebody might have also got 0, somebody 50, 12, 16, 11, 5, 3. These are all what? These are all marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the data is going to be very, very raw. Like the numbers are just they are just going to be given. Let's assume these are not 50 marks. These are not marks of 50 students, but I am just trying to tell that the data is given and the data is very, very, very what? The data is very raw, because there are only marks given to me. There are what? Only and only marks given to me. So this is raw data. There is no classification of data. There is no groups made, or that's not easy to understand. 50 students, 50 numbers. That is what raw data is. Let's get into next type of series. The next type is discrete, or it is also called as ungrouped series. So let me first say it to be ungrouped. Ungrouped other name is discrete series. Ungrouped or what? Ungrouped or discrete series. So what is this ungrouped or discrete series? Let me tell you. In ungrouped series, there is going to be an X. There is going to be an F. X is what? X is going to represent marks of the students. Marks of students. Just give me a minute. Okay. So this is X is going to represent what? X is going to represent marks of student. X is going to represent marks of student. What is F now? F is going to represent number of students. So you have to understand, students, what I'm trying to explain, because this is the most important crucial part. If you understand this part, you'll be able to understand what? You will be able to understand what is discrete, group, and the difference between all the three types of data. So X is going to be marks of students. So tell me, like, what was the maximum marks that student can get? I've taken an exam. The exam is of 20 marks. So the minimum marks that student can score is 1, and it is going to end it till 20. So my marks is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 19 and 20, right? So this is the marks that student is going to score. And now F is going to be number of students. Like 1 marks, those students who have scored 1 marks. There are how many students? There are 5 students who have scored 1 mark. There are 4 students who have scored 2 marks. There is 1 student who have scored 3 marks. There is 5 students who have scored 4 marks. There are, similarly, it might be like going on and on. Might be 19 students who have scored, 12 students who have scored 19 marks. There might be 10 students who have scored 20 marks. So what is going to be the summation of F? The summation of F is going to be the total number of students. Like in my example, how many students were there in our class? There were 50 students in our class. So my summation of F is going to be what? 50, because X is number of marks and F is the number of students who have scored that respective mark. So my summation of F is going to be number of students, total number of students. Therefore, now my summation of F becomes my number of students. My summation of f becomes what? My summation of f becomes my number of students. So this is a very important part which all of you must understand. X is going to be the data 1, 2, 3, 4, the number of marks that student might score, and f is going to be the number of students. Respective x is going to be the marks that those students have scored. 5 students scored 1 mark. 6 students scored whatever, it might be 5 or 5 marks. 2 students have scored, for example, 18 marks. 10 students have scored 20 marks. So this is what your ungrouped or discrete data tells you about. Okay, and let's get to the third type of our series. Third type is grouped series, or it is also said to be continuous. It is also said to be continuous series. Group series or continuous series. Group series or continuous series. Okay. So, okay. So this is what? This is group series or continuous series. Now let's get back. What is group series now? Now, group series is going to have 2 columns. That is CI and F. Now CI, you already know about CI. CI is what? CI is class interval. Just give me a minute. CI is what? CI is class interval. Now I'm going to create class. Like the students who are scoring between 0 to 5. Students who are scoring between 5 to 10. Students who are scoring between 10 to 15. And students who are scoring between 15 to 20. So now I have created a group of students. I have created a group of marks. So now for 0 to 5, how many students? We just assume, let's assume from 0 to 5, 10 students have scored between 0 to 5. Now the student scoring 2, the student scoring 1, the student scoring 0, 4 or 5. All the students are going to come in the class of 0 to 5. 5 to 10, let's assume it to be 15. From 10 to 15, let's again assume it to be 20. And now let's assume 15 to 20. What should the summation of f again be? The summation of f should again be what? It should be 50, because again class interval is what? Number of marks. A group of marks, and f is what? Number of students. F is what? Number of students. So again the summation of f becomes my n over here, number of students over here. And when I'm talking about raw data, n is going to be n itself. N is going to be n itself, because there is no group or there is no x over here. So hopefully, I hope that all the students might have got the data, got an idea about what is raw data, grouped discrete data, or grouped or continuous data. So because the types of series are very, very, very important, because we have to study these types of series in every type of average. In AM, we are going to study raw, grouped, ungrouped. In GM, we are going to study raw, grouped, ungrouped. HM, raw, grouped, ungrouped. Median, quartile, Lisa, percentile, and more. In every type of average, we have to study all these types of all these 3 series, and we have to study different formulas for all the series. That's the reason I've said this chapter to be very lengthy chapter. But don't worry, at the end of the chapter, if you are studying with me, if you are revising with me, for example, you have seen one lecture in a day. You are seeing one lecture in a day. So if you see today's lecture, it might be of 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, or might be of 1 hour. If you are watching a lecture of 1 hour, it is your responsibility to do self-study of the part that I have studied, that I have taught you today. If you are not doing self-study, and if you are only relying on my watching on the lectures, but you are not going to score in your exams. If somebody is telling that if you only watch the lectures, you'll get great marks, they are lying. If you don't do self-study, you're not going to score. So just keep that thing in mind. Akash Agarwal classes is not going to fool you in any kind. Akash Agarwal classes is going to give the right input to all the students. If you want to clear your exams, if you want to get great marks, or if you want to pass your exam for mathematics, you need self-study. You have to watch the lecture, you have to do the self-study. You are watching 1 hour's lecture, you have to do at least 1 hour's self-study. So you don't forget about that. Please, self-study is very, very, very mandatory. Just give me a minute. After that, we are going to jump into, like we have seen, groups. Now for here, I'll have to teach you there are two types of groups. One is inclusive. And other is exclusive. Exclusive's other name is overlapping, or it is also called as continuous. Okay, so inclusive group is what? If I say 1 to 4 is my group, 5 to 9 is other group, 10 to 14 is group, and 15 to 19 is a group. So if you see this kind of groups, the group starts with 1, ends with 4. The another group starts with 5, it ends with 9. The third group starts with 10, it ends with 14. The fourth group starts with 15 and ends with what? Ends with 19. So there's a question for you all. Where will 4.5 come? In which group 4.5 is going to be? Because the first group is starting with 1 but ending on 4. Second group is starting with 5 and ending with 9. So where does this 4.5 belong to? In which group are you going to keep this 4.5? Because you are at the 4, it is ending over here. 4 after 4, 4.1, 4.2. It ends at 4. It starts at 5. So 4.5 does not have any group to go in that group. So this is an inclusive series. It is ending with 4 and starting with 5. What is an exclusive series? Exclusive series is something like this: 1, 5, 5, 10, 10, 15, 15, and 20. It is continuous. If it is ending with 5, the other group is starting with 5. The next group is starting with 5. If the group is ending with 10, the next group is going to start with 10. If it ends with 15, it is going to start with 15. So this is what? This is a continuous or an exclusive series. This is what? This is a continuous or an exclusive series So a very important thing to solve the question, you should first convert inclusive data into exclusive. Then and only then you can solve any question. First of all, if you see an inclusive series given in your paper, your first job is to convert it into exclusive series. So let's now see how are we going to convert it into exclusive series. Let's now jump into it. How are we going to convert it? So convert into exclusive. If there is, let's continue with the same example. Example was 1, 4, 5, 9, 10, 14, 15 and 19. Step 1 is going to be find the gap. What do you mean by find the gap? It is ending with 4 and it is starting with 5. There is a gap of one number. So find the gap first. If my series might look something like this, 1, 3, and then 5 and 8. What is the gap over here? The gap over here is 2. 3, it is ending with 3, starting with 5, the gap is 2. But in my given example, the gap is what? The gap is 1. So find the gap. Step number 2, gap divide by 2. Gap divide by 2. Step number 3. Lower limit minus something, upper limit plus something. Now what is this plus something? You will get a clarity after my example, when I start solving the example. So what is my step 1? Over here I found my gap to be 1. What am I supposed to do in step number 2? I am supposed to divide half. 1 divided by 2. 1 divided by 2 is what? 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Now my series is going to look something like this. Lower limit minus 0.5. So it is going to be 1 minus 0.5. 1 minus 0.5 will be what? 0.5. And upper limit plus 0.5. So it is going to be 4.5. This is going to be minus. This is going to be plus. The lower limits, you know the lower limits and upper limit, right? I hope, I am assuming that you have seen the chapter number 1, statistical description of data. I have explained in detail what is lower limit and what is upper limit. So this is going to be 4.5 ish and 9.5. This is going to be 9.5 and 14.5. The next group is 14.5 and 19.5. Now you can see over here, it ends with 4.5, starts with 4.5, ends with 9.5, starts with 9.5, ends with 14.5, starts with 14.5. So now this class intervals have been converted into exclusive, and now we can solve the questions. So yes, we have not yet even started. What? We have not yet even started first type of central tendency. We are just creating a base to get into the chapter. It has almost been 30 minutes lecture. It has already been 30 minutes that we have started the lecture, and we have not yet gone into one single type. Okay, so we have invested almost 30 minutes, which is really like more than enough to get a basic idea what is central tendency. So I hope that all the students have got an idea, or they are clear with 3 types of series, that is raw data, group data, ungrouped data, and then inclusive series converted into exclusive, and more of everything, the base that we have covered. So now let's get into the first type. What is going to be your first type? Now your first type, give a heading for your first type. First we are going to study mathematical averages. We are going to study what, bachalo? We are going to study mathematical averages, and the first average is arithmetic series. Okay, just give the heading arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean, AM. So in AM, first is going to be what? As I've already told you, in AM we have to see AM, GM, raw data, group data, ungrouped data. In GM we have to see raw data, ungrouped data. So first over here we are going to talk about raw data. And for raw data there is going to be a formula. First of all, let me explain how does this raw data look like. So the raw data is going to be presented something like this. AM series is equals to x1 plus x2 plus x3 till xn, and divide by n. That means, let's get back to our example. 50 students, first student's marks, second student's marks, third student's mark, 50th student's marks, divided by what? Divided by 50. Number of data divided by number of data. All the data that we are going to get. If there are 15 students, all 15 marks will be added and divided by 15. So the formula over here for AM is summation of x. What does that mean? Total of all marks. This sign stands for summation. Summation means sum of all the numbers. So summation of all the x's, that means all the marks divided by n. This is your formula for AM. This is what? This is your formula for AM, for raw data. Hopefully the formula is clear. Now let's go ahead to our second series. Okay. Now before going ahead, let's see an example. If I give you an example, 2, 9, 4, 3, 2, 6, 7 and 4. This is my example. So what are we going to do? We are going to take our formula, summation of x upon n. So what is summation of x now? These are all x's, not your x's, the question ones. These are all your x's. What are we going to do? We are going to take sum. We are going to add 2, 9, 4, 3, plus 2, plus 6, plus 7, plus 4 and divide by the total number. Let's see if there are how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are total 8 numbers. So we are going to divide it by 8. Now let's get into the addition of it. 2 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6 plus 7 plus 4. It is 37. So your summation is 37 and let's divide it by 8. It is 4.625. So your AM is what, bacha log? Your AM is 4625. Your AM is what? 4625. So hopefully your the first type arithmetic series, in that arithmetic series, raw data is clear to you all. And I hope everybody is writing with me. All the students, your first job is to get with me. You have to write with me. Cumulative. You have to write with me. There's no way that you will first listen and then write it down. It is going to take a lot of time. So write it with me. Let's get into the next type. Next type is ungrouped data. AM for ungrouped data. So AM for ungrouped data looks like something like this. There's summation of x. There's going to be an f. Okay. Ungrouped data, I'm explaining it directly by an example. So there's going to be an x, there is going to be an f. Let us assume your x are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7. And your f is 0, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1 and 2. So this is your f. Your first step for ungrouped data. See, if there is a question for ungrouped data, AM, arithmetic mean, AM is also represented by x bar. AM is also represented by what? X bar. So if somebody is asking you, find the mean or find the x bar and the data, this is question. This is what question looks like. This is what question is going to look like. So if you see that the data is given for ungrouped, you have to find out another column and the next column's name is going to be fx. Now what is fx? Multiplication of f and x. So 0 into 1, 0, 2 into 2, 4, 3 into 1, 3, 4 into 2, 8, 5 into 1, 5, 6 into 1, 6, 7 into 2, 40. So your first step is going to be calculation of fx. Your first step is going to be calculation of fx. And now let's add those numbers. We have to find summation of fx and summation of f. So addition of these all. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 9. The summation of f is 9. But you might remember I've told you that summation of f is what? 9. summation n. So your summation of f is 9, and that summation of f is only your n. So your n becomes what? Your n becomes 9. Let's find out summation of fx. It is 4 plus 3 plus 8 plus 5 plus 6 plus 14. It is 40. So your summation of fx is what? The summation of fx is 40. Now the formula for ungrouped series is am, or x bar is summation of fx upon summation of f. The formula is what, bacha log? Summation of fx upon summation of f. So your fx is 40 upon f is 9. So your x bar is 4.44444. This is what? This is your x bar. This is what? This is your x bar, ungrouped data. X and f is going to be given. We have to find what? Fx. Then after finding fx, we want summation of fx and summation of f. The formula is summation of fx upon summation of f, which is going to be 4.444. So hopefully example number 2 is also clear. Not example, type number 2 is also clear. Let's get into type number 3. What is your type number 3? Type number 3 is grouped data. Type number 3 is what? Grouped data. So again, we'll understand it by what? By an example. So it becomes more easier for you all. Class interval. There is going to be given a class interval and a f. Okay. So the class interval is 0 to 10, 20 to 20, 20 to 30, and 30 to 40. So this is an example. F is supposed to be 8, 6, 5, and 2. Now, let me tell you one thing. For ungrouped and grouped data, the formula is same. For grouped data and ungrouped data, the formula is same. What is the formula? Summation of x, x bar, that is mean, is equals to what? Summation of fx upon summation of f. So now I want summation of f. So it is easier. It is very easy. I'll calculate that the summation of f is 21. 5, 8 plus 2 becomes 10, and then 11 becomes 21. So your summation of f is what? Your summation of f is 21. We have found it. But I also want summation of fx. But for summation of fx, I can see there is no x over here. I can see there is no x over here. So for grouped data, there are going to be 2 columns which I have to prepare. There are going to be how many columns? 2 columns that I have to prepare. The second column is going to be x. And your x will become nothing but your class mark. Your x is going to be what? Nothing but your class mark. And then this is going to be fx. So first I'll be calculating. Yes, so first you'll have to find class mark, and you all know how we find class mark because I've already taught in the previous chapter, that is statistical description of data. But all the students who have not seen that chapter directly have jumped into your chapter number 2. Let me again explain you what is class mark. Yes, so this is going to be your what? This is going to be your class mark. Sorry, this is not. We have to find class mark. So sorry, there is an important call that was supposed to be attended. So how do we find class mark? The class mark is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Hello? Don't need. So yes, there's an important work that I have to do. What we'll be going to do is, we'll continue the remaining part in our next lecture. I'll end this lecture over here. We'll get next lecture, the chapter part number 2. We'll continue the remaining part in your next lecture. Okay, there's an important thing to attend. Okay, so till then, see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.